We end each podcast. I let you ask me one question. It's my least favorite part of this because I never know what people will ask. But anything that you'd like to ask?
What do you think the ICE implications of Wall Street are? Because I know you've submitted a letter to the SEC regarding the ETFs. Do you agree with my approach?
So I do agree, right? I think that there's two separate pieces here, right? One is I truly believe that there's a lot of people who are interested, they're intrigued, and they don't have the technical competence or the intellectual curiosity to go figure out.
Or the time.
How do I figure out what is Bitcoin, what are the risks associated, what is the potential benefit, and how do I purchase, hold, securely, et cetera. All they know is this Bitcoin thing's interesting. People are talking about it. They keep getting stolen. I'm just going to go about my day, right? And so I think when you get an ETF or these retail products, ICE, et cetera, right, there's a line to thread there between you're giving access to a class of investors or a subset of investors that probably would never go to Coinbase, right, and go try to buy
because they want to buy it through their financial advisor.
They just want they want somebody to yell at when something goes wrong, right? And so I think that for those people, this is good because it will give them some exposure, even though it's not the best exposure. At the same time, the financial engineering that comes in is quite scary, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that one thing that I don't have an answer to, but I keep thinking through is what is the trade-off, right? How the positive effect of the news, right, for this base of retail investors who, frankly, it's a pretty big aggregate number of investors that have a lot of money.
Yes.
And so there will be an inflow of capital once these things actually, come online and are operational. But does that actually outweigh the 10,000 pound gorilla of Wall Street now having the ability to
rehypothecate,
go do what they do, right? And so there's an element of is this almost a Trojan horse, right? You get into the fort to attack by saying, hey, we're going to give access to these retail investors. Everyone's cheering, and to your point, they don't see kind of what's happening in the background. I don't know. Right. And so, frankly, I probably haven't been around long enough in the kind of traditional financial world to really understand how to measure that kind of pro and con impact. But I think it's one of the most fascinating things because you move from, Bitcoin 4 or 5 years ago was in, billions, tens of billions of, market cap or circulation.
Yes.
Now we're moving into institutions that's on their balance sheet. Mm-hmm. Right. And now all of a sudden you're playing with, an institution that 3 years ago or 4 years ago could have just bought the entire supply of Bitcoin. Right. And so, you're one of my partners always talks about going straight from high school to the pros. Like Bitcoin just went straight from high school to the pros. Yep. And are we ready? Right. I don't know yet. And I think that's going to be one of the most fascinating things to watch.
Yeah. Great points. Great point.